So hey, if you're running your own digital marketing agency or any kind of B2B business and you use cold emails on a daily basis to generate leads for your business, then in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can actually generate around 30 to 40 plus sales calls every single month using this AI cold email system. Okay. And you don't have to put any kind of manual effort, okay, to make the system run and activate on anything. Okay. Plus, this is going to book you meetings consistently 24/7. It will going to work and everything. Okay. So let's get started. I'm going to show you a quick demo of it. Okay, so here we have the system right now, in front of our screen, and let me just run it. Okay, so we have actually built this from the scratch also. So I'm actually just starting the workflow over here. Okay, and first of all, I'm going to go through our schedule trigger node. Okay, this particular node itself determines that when this particular whole workflow is going to be, run. Okay, then we have the main database nodes. Okay, this actually makes sure that some prerequisites, operations are already getting performed into the database to make sure that data gets all the stats about the emails and data is going to be stored eventually. Okay, and everything. Then we are actually generating the emails over here. Then actually validating the emails as well to make sure that the JSON format, okay, in which the emails are getting stored in the JSON kind of data is actually a valid JSON object, of course, and sending the emails and actually updating the database and everything. So emails have been now generated and sent also, and the database also now updated. So let me just show you the front end now, okay, that how the front end looks now. This is that we have over here, okay, email performance dashboard over here. And as you can see, our whole complete data. This time, let me show you the leads tab also, okay. So let me just open any kind of lead, okay. So these leads also getting generated, getting added by the AI itself, okay, using our AI as the system. This part in this video is just a cold email system, but before this also there's an AI system that actually find the potential prospects, okay, find their emails, contact details, research about them, qualify them, and then stores them according to that into the database. So as you can see, in the leads page, we have the individual lead information, everything comprehensive, and this research data is actually generated by the AI by going through their every kind of profiles, business profiles, social media profiles, business website, and everything that can be useful in terms of personalization, in terms of getting that lead contacted and getting to know more and more about them if they're qualified or not. Okay, so this is the complete research data that is going to be generated by the AI. Plus, and it actually also depends on your offers and your on your ICPs also, okay, of course. So there's a button also that we actually added somewhere as with AI. So when you're going to click this button, what is going to happen is that all this comprehensive research data is going to be shown you in a summarized manner. So if you're a manager or a owner and you have to see if what this particular lead actually is doing and everything about them, okay, their personal data, then you can actually just click on the summarize with AI and you're gonna able to just get a comprehensive summarized information. You're gonna get to know everything about the lead. Okay, so that's it. Then a very important part we have over here is the email history. So whatever emails that the AI has generated and has sent to the particular lead, they're going to be shown over here. Okay, and as you can see, okay, this is the particular email that I'm going to be sent, and right now as you can see, our placeholder is also being created because I haven't given a agency name to the particular system right now, okay, because it's like a kind of a demo system right now that I'm showing to you all. Okay, so you can actually add the name of your agency and whatever you want, okay, but this is the email that's going to be generated specifically by the AI. And here also in this front end, it's shown in the HTML manner. Okay, as you can see, this particular part is bold, okay, and this part is also bold, and we have the break lines and paragraphs and everything over here in a formatted manner. Okay, so this is all the email history. So all the conversations also is, let's say in future a follow-up email is also going to be sent. We're going to become in this email history only, okay, just below this. So I'm going to show you that in the further runs after going to the whole system. As you can see, so this was our complete whole system, guys. Okay, and this is the complete whole system, and let's just go through the complete system now, like the database. Okay, let me just show you how I have actually built it, how it's actually working. Okay, so the first we're going to go through the Supabase, okay, our database in which all the details about the leads and all the stats are getting stored. Then I'm gonna show you how to actually set up this particular whole system. Okay, how can you set up this whole N8N system? Okay, then I'm going to show you how to actually connect your this particular backend and Supabase and complete our system with the front end also. Okay, with the front end I'm not gonna go in a very so much depth, but I'm gonna try to show it because it's something a kind of a little bit complex also. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to show you all that. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing is the Supabase. Now, okay, in the Supabase, I have two tables. Okay, so first is the leads base where all the list of leads is going to be stored. And then we have another table that is the email KPI dashboard, okay, in which all the stats about how many emails are getting sent, how many total emails sent, new emails sent, total replies we got, total meetings we booked using this system, and everything is going to be identified and stored in this particular table. Okay, then let me just first of all take you through how this particular leads base is working. Okay, let's just go through the tables, both of them. Okay, so first of all we have the leads base. In this, as you can see, I have first column is the ID column. Okay, so ID column is very simple. It actually gives each and every lead their own unique identity. Okay, that's what it's just doing. Okay, it's going to be, this particular column is really useful in the back end and front end for the functionality. Okay, we're gonna talk about it in the future. Okay, then we have our email ID. So this should have also been worked as the ID only, the email ID also, because of course it's going to be unique for each and every lead. But still, we are actually making another ID column that's going to be specifically going to work as the ID. Then we have of course the email ID of the lead, the column. Then you have the created ad. Okay, so like when this particular lead has gone created, then you have the first name, okay, storing the first name of the lead. Then you have the last name, storing the last name of the lead. Then you have the company name, storing the company name of the lead. Okay, then you have the company website, okay, storing the company website of the lead. Then you have the research data. Okay, so now as I mentioned, this research data is going to be created by the AI, okay, and going to be stored into this particular leads base only. So all the leads that you're seeing over here are going to be generated by the AI itself. It is going to find the potential prospects. Okay, we're going to get their data. Okay, if they're a good fit or not, we're going to qualify them, score them, and then after that, at last, we're going to store it into this particular table. That's what the whole process looks like, guys. Okay, and yeah, the research contacts. Then we have the leads status. So right now, it's initial email because we have just sent it our first email. I've just shown you the demo, so that's its initial email. But before this, it was none. Okay, like no one sent it. It's just a new fresh lead. Okay. Then the thread ID. So thread ID, as you know, whenever you're sending a cold email, it can be through any kind of platforms also, campaigns or any kind of platforms. Each and every new email creates a new thread. Okay, and whenever you're gonna create any kind of follow-up emails, gonna send any kind of follow-up emails, and it will going to be in that particular same thread only. It's like the same chats in the same it's kind of a chats, okay, that you are having the continuous conversation into the same place only, one by one. Okay, any kind of replies, any kind of follow-ups for the emails is going to be stored into the same thread. Okay, so I hope that you also know about it already, of course. Okay, so that's the thread ID, because when we're gonna send follow-up emails using the AI, okay, in this system only, so it's actually important that we have the thread ID, so we can actually detect the thread and create a reply on that thread. Okay, then we have the last email. So this actually kind of a tricky column name, but it actually works as the timestamp. So that's when the last email has sent to this particular lead. And the number that you're seeing over here is the seconds. Okay, it's the time converted into the seconds for the more efficiency that I'm going to talk about. Okay, that's it. That's the whole leads column, guys. And then we have the email KPI dashboard over here. So now this is something is as I mentioned, all the stats about how many emails are getting sent, how many replies we got, how many meetings we booked, okay, using the AI-based conversations, are going to be stored over here. So you can actually have everything getting shown into the dashboard itself, all the data, okay, date by date also, and the total data also, everything. Okay, so this is what the whole Supabase things was, guys. Okay, I hope that you understand it, everything. Also, let me just show you how to actually create these tables. So just first of all, what you have to do is create a new project over here. It is going to ask for some normal details, so add that and create a new project. After that, get into the project, okay, and come to this particular table editor. Then you have to click on the new table, okay, to create a new table. Then name the table anything that you want. The description, it's optional. If you want to add the description, that's great, good. If not, that's completely okay. Then you have the enable row level security RLS, and remember, you have to disable it. Okay, click on the confirm of the disability, and it's really important to disable it, because then only this particular table is going to be accessed through the Supabase API. Okay, that you can then only, because after disabling only we will be able to use this Supabase using the N8N or code, okay, using the APIs. Okay, because RLS actually restricts the access to the table by the API, so you have to disable it, remember. Then we have the columns, of course. Okay, so for let's say ID, so you have to select the type of the particular column, that like which kind of data is going to be stored. So I'm gonna search for the UUID. That's the unique identifier. You can actually also select the text also if you want, but I'm gonna select the UUID only. That's the best possible. Default value, don't mess with the default value. Don't change it. Whatever you're gonna see over here, like generate a random UUID, okay, and the function is going to be called. Okay, this is the default value that we're going to be stored automatically, that we're going to create it automatically by the Supabase only. Okay, and that's the best, okay, because it's a UUID. Let it to be created using the Supabase only. Then we have then let's say another column created at. You can actually name it as the time also. You can actually name it the timestamp also. You can actually name it as the text also if you need. But yeah, time we're going to do what's best right now. Okay, that's it, guys. And you can actually also make it as now only, that just show the current time, because that's when the lead is getting created, of course. Okay, then we can actually add more columns as I mentioned, as we gone through, like email ID. Okay, and the email ID, for email ID we don't have any kind of email specific data type, so we're gonna set the text only. That's it. And also we want that this should not be null at any case. So whenever a request is going to be sent to create any row for this table, at that time we have to make sure that the email ID is not empty. So this actually makes sure that the email ID is not empty, because the email ID, if the email ID is going to be empty, there's no way of having that lead, because we can't contact it using our cold email system. Okay, so we have to select it. We have to make the is nullable false, like disable it. Okay, then add the other columns, click save, create the table. That's it. It's going to be created, guys. So I hope that you understood the complete Supabase, how it's getting used, the tables concept, okay, and what are the tables we are using and everything. Great. Okay, so now let me just take you through how this particular system is like getting created at the very basic. Okay, so then as you can see right now, okay, the first node of this whole system is the schedule trigger. And now schedule trigger determines that when you want this particular workflow to get triggered, okay, like to run, whenever you want it to run. So in the schedule trigger, we have some settings, okay. So first is the triggers interval. Okay, so you can actually add the interval, okay, that after a specific interval that will be triggered. So like which kind of interval? It can be the interval in terms of days, it can be interval in terms of hours, like in every 2 hours I want to run. Then I'm going to set the hours. If I want in every 2 days or 3 days I want to run, I'm going to set the days. If I want in months I have to run, like in once a month or 2 times a month, I'm going to set the months, in the weeks, minutes, and seconds also. Like if I want to run it in every 15 seconds, I'm going to set the minutes. And then also we have the custom cron job that I'm not going to go through right now because it's a little bit complex. So yeah, right now trigger interval is days. Great. Then days between the triggers. Okay, so right now I'm actually going to set the one only. That's the best, of course. Okay, then we have the trigger at hour. Okay, that when you want at which time of the day to trigger it. Okay, so we can actually set the hour according to you. There's a midnight, like 12 a.m. I mean. Okay, so let's say if I want to now run it at 1 a.m. Okay, every day at 1 a.m. and the trigger at minute I want is let's say I want to run it at 1:30 a.m. every day. I'm going to set the 1:30, the 30th minute. Okay, or let's say I want to run it at 1:45 a.m. Okay, every day, so I'm going to set the 1:45 over here. That's the rule of the trigger at minute. But right now I just wanted to be zero only. So yeah, there's the triggers, schedule trigger. Then what we have over here is the Supabase node. Okay, and what it does is we are actually verifying that, as I mentioned over here, okay, the email KPI dashboard again in the Supabase, we are having each row created, okay, using having like each row created over here, but it's for each and every day. As you can see, created at 10, 11, then I have the 18 because I have to delete some before rows for some reasons. But as you can see, there should be a created at, okay, because in every node, we're going to send new kind of emails, we're going to get new kind of replies. So you have to track day wise, okay, that at each day, how many new emails sent, how many total emails sent, how many total replies we got, meetings booked. So we're going to have to track it each and every day, okay. Then only we can also calculate the total amount, and then only we'll be able to show it in a graph form, in a more analytical form, okay. So as you can see right now, there is a row with the today's date in which I am recording this video, okay. And also one more thing that I wanted to share is in the system, what now we are doing is that through the Supabase, I'm actually resources row, I'm actually getting a resource, okay, and I'm using the get operation that I want to get the resource. Okay, and the resource is the row. That's for me, I want to get a row. Then the table name or ID, I'm selecting the email KPI dash. So when you're gonna connect your Supabase account through the N8N, you're gonna find the list of table name or IDs automatically over here. Okay, so you don't have to do things manually. So you can see we have 3 tables. I have 3 tables over here. And you can also see the 3 tables list over here. So email KPI dash, I want to select it. Then from the email KPI dash, I want to get a single row. Okay. Then we have a name or ID that I want to match. Okay, we're using means I want to get a row where the value of created at column is this particular date, means the today's date, as you can see. Okay, so it's going to give me in the output, as you can see, it's going to return the particular row, okay, in which the created at is the today's current date. It has returned me the data. Great, that's what I wanted. Then I'm going to run through the aggregate node. So what this aggregate node is doing is that first of all, we're aggregating all item data into a single list. Okay, so means if you're gonna get multiple IDs for some reason, like multiple rows for some reason, we're still storing it into a list first of all. Okay, and put output field is the all KPI rows. So as you can see, all KPI rows. So that's a JSON where all KPI rows is the key, and we have the value as a list of all the rows. Okay, right now there's only one row in the whole list, and that's it. That's what it's doing. I'm going to show you why it's going to be used. So now after the aggregate, in the if, what I'm actually doing is that I'm saying that if in the all KPI rows, if the 0th column, if the first row, okay, like if this particular row is empty, okay, because if there will be not a row created already with this particular date, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to detect it using the if statement. And if there is no row, then I'm going to create that particular row for today, because in the automation, we are actually sending the emails. We are having stats created that we have to record. And if we don't have the current day's row created over here, we will not able to store the particular records only, the particular stats. So it's really important that the row is getting created over here. So that's what we are actually checking. This whole code is actually checking if the particular row is there or not. And if it's not there, it is going to create it. Okay, so that is the work of this whole, this whole parts. Okay. Then we have the get many rows. So now what we're doing is that using the get many rows, we're actually getting all the leads. As you can see, all the list of leads with the research data and everything. So we're getting all the leads over here. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the 5 leads right now. Okay. All the leads that have been present over here, we have just got them. Then we are having the filter, and now we're actually filtering the leads. So how we are actually filtering them, I'm saying, if the string lead status to lowercase is not equal to 7 sent, this is a kind of filtering process. I'm saying that 7 sent is the final lead status. That's when the 7th follow-up is being sent for the particular lead. So after that, it's all done. Okay, because we have sent it the final follow-up. And that's it. We don't want this lead to come again into the automation in any particular way. We don't need it to get processed. I'm filtering it. I'm saying if a lead's status is 7 sent, then just remove it. Okay, that's it. Then you have the switch tab over here, in which we are actually detecting the routing rules. That if a lead is a very new, if it's a fresh lead, go to this particular routing rule, the first one. And if a lead is not a fresh lead, it means if either they have already got in the first email or they are already into the follow-up process, then go to the second switch rule. Okay. Then if you're going to the first switch rule, we are using the loop for each lead. Okay. And you're actually generating the emails using this particular node over here. I'm going to talk about the prompts later in this video, so stick with me. I'm going to talk about all the prompts also, okay? Right now, the prompts are right now not really specific, because it should be really, really specific with your ICP, with your offer, and with your overall, what can I say, as the process, okay? Of who you're targeting, and, overall, like more and more details about your overall business, okay? What you're actually selling, to whom you're actually selling, and other stuff. Then we have again a loop over here. After the emails are going to be generated by the AI, again the email loop is over here, and we're actually validating the got JSON. So it's like, this is the JSON that I've actually got. Okay, this is the JSON. Okay, it's in the text right now, text format, but this is the complete JSON. As you can see, the brackets also in the end of this text. And actually verifying this JSON, we're actually validating this whole JSON, okay, using the JSON parse over here. Okay, and if this JSON is going to be an invalid JSON, okay, with some tag format errors or something, it is going to be, given to the error branch. So as you can see, there are two branches of this node. One is the error branch, okay, that's going to the JSON fixer agent, I mean the LLM, okay, and then we have the success branch. So if we will not get any kind of error while parsing the JSON, it means that the JSON is valid, because that's why we don't get any error. And if you're going to get any kind of error into the branch in the particular while parsing this JSON, it's going to throw the particular leads details to the particular JSON fixer LLM. And what we're going to do is that it's going to fix the JSON. That's it. Okay, because we don't want any kind of backend errors or any kind of functionality errors. We don't want anything to break, because that's for the perfect, because we are doing it in a really, really professional way. Okay. So the JSON fixer is a really important part. It actually fixes the JSON. Then it's again going to verify if the received JSON is actually valid or not. And if it's not valid, it will going to fix it again. Okay. It will again going to fix it. But if it's already fixed, it is going to move to the other lead. So it's going to verify each and every email that has been generated for the lead. After that, finally, we're going to convert the markdown into the HTML. So this is the markdown body that we have got, that we just discussed about. Okay. As you can see, if you have to make the particular part of a text bold, there's 2 stars over here. Okay. It actually makes the particular text parts bold. Okay. And it's really important. And as you can see, into the final process, you're going to get a data something like this. Okay, P tag, N tag, P tag everywhere. So markdown is now converted to the HTML. And there is a strong over here, strong tag to make the particular specific parts bold and everything. That's the really important part again, okay? And after converting the markdown to the HTML, we are actually sending the emails. Okay, using a Gmail account right now. As you can see, we are actually sending the emails, send, all the status are now sent for the each and every new thread to the emails. Great. Then we're actually updating the Supabase roles according to that. Okay, updating the statuses and everything, updating the stats over here, finally. Okay, and that's it. That's what this whole system was at a very initial level. Okay, then if it's a follow-up email, let's say, then I'm gonna again filter it. That now, what I'm actually doing now is that so now we have the other part of the running of the system, guys, and that is about the follow-ups. Okay, so as you can see now, okay, about the follow-ups. And right now, what first of all is we're doing again the the second branch is that filtering out. Okay, so we are actually filtering out the leads according to their timings. Okay, so like right now, as you can see, so whenever what we're actually calculating over here is that we are just calculating that if the lead has past the 2 days of time frame when the last email was sent. Okay, if it's 2 days or more than 2 days since the last email was sent, that's what we are actually detecting. Okay, if it's 2 days or more than 2 days since the last email was sent, that's what we are actually calculating over here. Okay, and if yes, that if it's 2 days or more than 2 days since last email sent to that particular lead, if yes, that's the truth, then I'm gonna keep those leads. If not, I'm gonna discard them. Okay, as you can see, the discarded right now is none, because what we're doing, and because I have intentionally coded it right now again, because I wanted to show you the demo of its whole working. And right now, just run the demo, send it the first initial emails. So we have to, wait for the 2 days to actually see, to actually saw the follow-ups running. But I'm going to show you the demo, the complete overview of it. So that's why I actually changed it right now. Okay, so, and as I just run it, as you can see, we have got the 5 items coming from the filter, because it actually didn't discard any of these leads, because I wanted to show you the working of it. Then we have the aggregate node. Okay, and what we're doing is that all the leads that we have got through the filter, we're actually combining, we're actually merging all those individual data into a single list of data, because as you can now, because we're going to see that when the amount of data was entering was, as you can see, there was 5 items over here. Okay, as you can see, okay, the 5 items was there, and after the leads bundle data, there's only 1 item. Okay, as you can see over here, only 1 item over here. And why is that? Because all those 5 items got merged into a single list, and then the single list was got returned. Then we're actually again splitting that list, and there is a reason behind that I'm gonna talk with you. And then the single list is also going to be splitted out, and there is a reason behind that, and that I'm gonna talk with you about. Okay, so splitting out to parallel run, as you can see again. So actually splitting it out again for some reasons, and then we have a get a thread data. Okay, so what we're actually doing is that for all those views, we are actually getting their threads. because now it's time for the follow-ups. So we have to actually get their thread. Okay, we have to get their initial emails. Okay, so because uh, you know because you know because think of it like this, that the first email has been sent it, the first cold email has been sent it, and now a thread is now created, and now we're actually creating a follow-up email. Okay, let's say the first follow-up email. So for the first follow-up email, of course we have the prompts, but we are also giving the AI the first email, the complete threads details, all the emails before the new email, all the old emails, like the first cold email, second follow-up email, first follow-up email, everything, before we send the third follow-up. Okay, we're putting the complete context, so it's actually gonna create the best possible follow-up email. Okay, it is gonna make the leads to notice that, okay, that you have actually gone through, that you are actually actively replying, you're taking care of the other emails also, you're not just following up like a bot. Okay, you are actually mentioning some particular stuff from the first emails. Okay, so the leads actually, this is how actually leads notice you also. They find you unique. That's how. Okay, and yeah, we're actually getting the threads details, and we're actually aggregating all those threads, because as you can see, for the 5 leads, I actually got 5 threads over here. Then I'm actually aggregating those threads again into a single list of items. As you can see, after that, only one item got, we got only one item. That's when all the threads details got merged into a single list. And in the code node, what we're actually doing is we are actually simplifying the data overall. That's what we are actually doing. So let me just show you this, because as you can see in the thread, there is a lot of messages. There's a lot of data, not just the snippet. Snippet is actually represents the main actual message that we sent it earlier, but there's a lot of other data like ID, thread ID, history ID, normal ID, size estimate, history ID, internal dates, labels, and a lot of things like from, subject to, for each and every message and all. We don't want this many data, because we only want a limited amount of data, the limited important data. That's what we all want. And for that, what we're actually doing is that we're actually aggregating for each lead. Okay, as you can see over here, for each lead, what we're actually doing, well, let me just show it in a more precise way to you. Okay, let me just bring it down the slider, and we gonna find, okay, as you see, for each lead, there is now a key and value pair that is lead messages. So now this is the lead messages, is the key, and the data, as you can see, there is a list of messages, and those messages are now aggregated through this whole chunk of data that we have just got. We're actually only getting the snippet, taking out of the whole message, and what snippet in the subject and to and from also. Okay, these are the important parts, plus the email ID also, plus the email type also. Then we were just getting the important parts of the whole messages. As you can see, this is the one complete message, as you can see over here. Okay, and you're actually getting the important parts, and this just 4 important parts that we needed. And that's what we're doing for the each lead. We're actually getting out the all of their details and creating a comprehensive data. Okay, simplified the data, really simplified data for the AI, because of course we have to take care of a lot of things, emails quality, plus the context, plus the amount of tokens that is actually evaluating, because the more token gonna give, the more VAT sometimes also becomes, because there's a limitations the tokens as well for the AI LLM. Then it is getting out again the codes details, because we have got into a merged single list, which is splitting it out, spreading it to the loop. Then loop is gonna actually what loop is actually doing is that it's actually breaking those splitted items into batch size of 3. So let's say 5 items have spreaded to the loop node. So at a time it is going to go through only the 3 items max. Okay, then after that, when the 3 items, and the loop is going to finish for the 3 items, and we're gonna again run for the rest of the items, like in the 5 items, for the 5 items, first it run for the first 3 items. Then when the first 3 items get process over, then we're gonna again run for the more 2 items. Because why we're actually doing it like that, because here we have the AI LLM request, sending the LLM request to the Gemini and Google and everything. And the problem is that if you're gonna get the hundreds of leads directly into the loop, and if you're not gonna provide the loop, and we're gonna just continually provide the hundreds of leads, it's gonna generate hundreds of emails and thousands of emails in parallelly using the LLM. And that's when Gemini and any kind of OpenAI will going to block you. It's gonna say that you have the rate limits. Okay, you can only send like 10 requests maybe in like some like minutes or like some seconds maybe. We have limitations, okay? You have to, respect those limitations, okay? That's why I'm actually generating only 3 items per request, okay? 3 items at a time, okay? After that again, 3 items till the, so actually doing it in the loop, like 3 items, then again for the next more items, then again for more items, left items, then again for the more left items. That's why we're actually respecting the rate limits of the LLM requests also, okay? Then again, here's the email getting generated. Then we actually, getting some, we have the code node over here, and we actually just making the JSON, make sure that it's valid. That's really, what we have just discussed before also. Again, we're actually fixing the emails also, a really important part. Okay, really important to fix those, problems that we just got into. Then again, we are actually finally going through the loop, again making sure that there are no final error mistakes, because we are doing it in a really professional way. So actually validating the emails 2 times over here to make sure that there are no absolute JSON errors. Okay, so we're not gonna get through any kind of stat based errors or miss numbers or issues, because this can actually affect the businesses also. And then sending the emails, Gmail over here again. Now it's the whole same part, okay? This whole same part and this whole same part is almost the same now, okay? Updating the stats using this particular node, and using these 3 nodes, we're actually finally updating the stats also. That's how this whole thing was working, guys. And all these 5 leads we have just now gone through the initial email. That's why all of 5 gone through the first part. That's the first follow-up. Now again, if I'm going to run this, they're going to go through the second follow-up. Okay, then again, I'm going to run this, I'm going to go through the third follow-up, then the fourth, fifth, sixth, till that get to the final stage that, okay, now this lead is done. Okay, it's their complete, sending process, cold sending process, engaging process is now done. So that's what this whole system was, guys. I hope that you understand this complete N8N cold email system. Okay, AI cold email system. Then we have the third thing is about the front end. Okay, to get the details, okay, of the how many emails sent and everything, okay, in the overall day and all. So first of all, as you can see here, we have the webhook. Okay, this is the production URL that we are actually providing to the front end, and this is where the request is actually going. If you wanna match also, okay, it's not this one. Sorry, wait a sec. I think it was this one maybe. Yeah, this was this one. As you can see, now I'm gonna match. I'm gonna find out it's the same request that we have been seeing here and here. Okay, this is where the request they're putting in, and as you can see, it's active right now. So any kind of request that I'm gonna make to this particular URL, production URL, get request production URL to this, it is going to trigger this whole workflow. Okay, because this is the webhook trigger, and as we're gonna make the request to that webhook, it's going to start the complete workflow. So what we're actually doing, how we're actually doing this all, we're actually getting again, all the stats using the get many operation, getting all the stats, okay, of all the days, aggregating them into a single list. Okay, then the code node, we're actually calculating the total email data. And what I mean by the total email data is that what we're actually calculating, that's just, make it really simple. So first of all, we have all these 4, details, like the new email sent, total new email sent, and it means that I'm not actually calculating the follow-ups. I mean the total email sent to the new leads, okay, to the fresh leads. That's what it is. Then the total email sends right now, and then this again, everything, all the kind of emails that have been sent, okay, the new emails, the follow-up emails, everything that is just sent, the total email sent, we're going to store that. Then with the total replies and how many replies we got generated in a single day or in overall days. Then you have the meetings booked, okay, right now, that how many meetings just got booked, okay, in a particular day. And then we have last 7 days tracking list. Okay, that's going to be shown over here, okay, for all the last 7 days. Right now it's just 3 days only. Okay, that's not a problem. But for the max, it's gonna go for the 7 days only. It's not gonna take more than 7 days, because right now that's completely okay, kind of. Then right now, as you can see, their value has been given 0 to all the total amount of total, for the total cluster of data. Okay, right now we're giving the 0 because now we're actually calculating them using the for loop over here. Okay, actually we are assume it like this. Each day I have sent 10 new emails for the rest 3 days. Okay, so how it's going to calculate it is that it's going to go through each particular day using the for loop, gonna take out the data of each new email sent each day. Like for the first day 10, second day 10, third day 10, then the total amount of new email sent is the 30. So that's how we're actually calculating, and we're actually updating it into the for loop only. That's what it is, really simple. And then finally we're returning the email KPI data overall, okay, the complete total data and the last 7 days in data specific. And that's what being actually shown into the front end also over here. That's what the email KPI dashboard was. And then I have over here is this particular data also again. And what I'm actually doing over here again is now we're actually just getting all the kind of all leads list, okay, using this for data. That's we're actually getting all the leads data, like all the data of the leads we're actually getting using this particular the list of leads that you're seeing over here in this particular section. Then this list, okay, this whole list is actually coming through this particular workflow. Okay, it's almost the same thing. Getting all the leads using this particular data, this particular node of the Supabase, aggregating all those individual gotten leads into a single list. Then we actually again doing some coding part. Okay, we're actually adding some of kind of their we're actually categorizing them over here. Okay, how many engaged leads are there, how many active leads, new leads, and everything. Actually categorizing things in our complete code from the scratch that you actually written, and actually finally returning the KPI data also. Okay, that's what it is, guys. And now after that, you're getting the response to webhook in each and every details of the lead lists and everything. So yeah, that's what this whole thing was. Have you understand it? And yeah, these are the two main important parts. And now the APIs that have each actually have been implemented. Let me just show you this. So now for the emails dashboard data, okay, for like this, for this whole data, the dashboard data, we're actually using this particular API, okay, in the front end. And if the request is not okay, means if we have not able to fetch the dashboard data, it's gonna console an error and gonna return null. It's going to be all handled into the front end processes. Okay, so that's what the email dashboard data was. Then we have over here is this is now the leads internal data. I'm gonna talk about this. Now this is actually worked as this has actually been built especially for the leads list. Okay, this particular whole front end. And this particular request is being now actually getting the list of all the leads. Okay, again, it's like actually making a get request to the particular webhook node, as I just shown you. Okay, getting all the leads list. Again, you're doing the same thing, making sure that the response is actually okay or not. We have actually able to fetch the details or not. And if it's not, then I'm gonna give it through an error. Okay, and if we have got the data, we're gonna get the JSON. We're gonna extract the JSON part from the response, the JSON data from the response, and store it into the data variables. And we have some functions that we actually created over here. Okay, so it's actually an arrow function, reformat date. Okay, for formatting the dates. And we actually again in the data.leads list.nav actually running this whole function and returning it finally. Okay, it's kind of a loop only, but it's actually map function is kind of a loop function. It's kind of you're running a loop on a particular data. Yeah, it's like running a loop on a particular array. Okay, and getting some data like lead and index. Okay, their internal details for the loop, kind of, you can think of it like that. Okay, so that's a little bit too much deep, so don't think too much of the front end right now, guys. Okay, and yeah, that's what the whole thing was, and I hope that you understand it really in a great way. So that's it for today, guys. So that's it for today, guys. I know that I haven't covered the replies part right now, because replies is something a little bit more complex, and I don't want this video to get more and more bigger. I'm going to cover the replies part in another video. Okay, I'm going to show you that how replies are getting handled and how the meetings are also like getting booked through the same system only. So that's it for today, guys, and I hope that you have find it really valuable. And if you're also someone who's actually looking to, if you're interested in this kind of systems, like build it for your own agency, that you're going to book your meetings like while you're sleeping, you're going to book your meetings. And the monitoring also, as I show you, is a really simple. Plus, we're actually implementing different custom more features like the A/B testing features and the multiple accounts integration features, because one Gmail account can only handle 30 emails. So multiple inboxes like 7 to 8 can actually send more and more emails every single day, okay, simultaneously. So we're actually adding some more, very different features. And if you're interested in like getting any kind of these things built it for you on, you can actually check out the description and book a call with me, 10 to 15 minutes call, in which you can actually discuss if you like how this can be, work for you, if this is going to be really helpful for you and everything. If you have any questions specific for your own agency regarding this automations and all AI, feel free to book a call with me. Okay, free call, 10 to 15 minutes, that's it. So that's it, guys. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that you find it real value from this whole system through this whole video, I mean. Okay, and yeah, I'm gonna meet you in another video. Bye.